Good evening, and welcome to our fifth video of Virtual Story Hour. This video is themed Goodnight, and I have several books here that are night themed, 2 by Margret Wise Brown and 2 by Denise Brennan Nelson. We're going to start with the book called, I'm going to start with Good Day, Good Night. This one is by Margret Wise Brown. When the sun came up, the day began. Who saw the first light of the sun? I, said a bunny, the only one. Good morning, world. Hello, daylight. Good day, everyone. Goodbye, night. Good day, trees and birds in the sky. Good day, bees. Buzz out of your hives. Good day, kitty. There's milk in your cup. Stretch, little cat. Try to wake up. Aww. Cute kitty. Good morning to you. Open your eyes, for every day is a new surprise. You know, these pictures are a little busy. If you guys wanted to pause on the pictures, maybe you get to see more. Go live your day. Some of them are pretty low-key, like this one. When the moon came up, the night began. Good night, birds, down in your nest. I really like these illustrations. They're very beautiful. Good night, bees. Time to rest. Aww. Look at the caterpillar up there chilling. He's like, oh, sleepy time. Good night, sky and the daylight. Good night, flowers, bugs. Good night. Good night, kitty. Good night, bear. Oh, this one's a lot like Goodnight Moon. Even the colors are even kind of the same. Good night, people everywhere. Good night, toys. Good night, world. Under the covers, I cuddle and curl. The rabbit twitched his nose and rubbed his eyes closed. Good night, little bunny. Go to sleep. These illustrations remind me of another book that's kind of like a bedtime story called The Snatch-A-Book. It's really cute. The end. I used to read that one to my kids all the time. Okay, this one and next one we'll do decisions. Let's do Goodnight Forest. Kind of want to do them in order. Goodnight Forest. Good night, forest, rise and shine. Good morning, maple, oak, and pine. Good morning, sun. Hello, day. Good morning, dear. Want to play? Got a cute smile. Good morning, bird. Sing your song. Good morning, stream. Hum along. Oh, look at the beaver. Look at his little smile on the birds. So cute. Good morning, Chipmunk and Squirrel 2. Good morning, Beaver. There's work to do. This one sort of has the same tone as Good Day, Good Night. It starts in the morning and goes into the night. Good morning, flowers, rustling leaves. Good morning, crickets, gentle breeze. And gentle breeze. Oh, look at the cricket. He's cute. I'm sorry the lighting isn't very good here. I hope the pictures are quality. Hello, Porcupine. You look lovely. Good day, moss, ferns, and ivy. He's so cute. Hello, turtle. Come out of your shell. Good day, skunk. What's that smell? The turtle's like, oh God. Deep in the forest, creatures play, but something happens at the end of the day. Do you know what happens at the end of the day? A hush falls over, wide and deep. Even the forest has to sleep. Good night, trees. Good night, stream. Good night, otter. Time to dream. Look at the little baby otter. Good night, critters. Good night, day. Sleepy time. No more play. The skunk has a clothespin over his nose. I don't know why he's got a clothespin over his nose. I feel like everybody else should have a clothespin over their noses. Good night, bird. Find your nest. Good night, forest. Get some rest. The cover of the book right here. Good night, ant. Where's your hill? Good night, bunny. Soft and still. There's the ant and then going into his hill. Cute little bun. Good night, bear. No more growl. Good night, coyote. Quiet howl. Time to sleep. All creatures do. Good night, forest. Good night, you. The end. Okay, now I'm going to go with Goodnight Moon. This story I read to my daughter every night for the longest time. I could read it by heart. Okay. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of a cow jumping over the moon, and there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs. And 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house and a young mouse. Hey, where's the house? Where's the mouse? And the kittens and the mittens. Mouse. A comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush and a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush. Good night, room. See how the colors are kind of the same as in Good Day, Good Night, green and the red. And this window here, this is what our craft will be. One of the crafts. And it's a bunny too. Remember in the other book it was a bunny? Good moon, or good night moon. Goodnight cow jumping over the moon. Goodnight light and the red balloon. Goodnight bears. Goodnight chairs. There's a fireplace in his room too. Goodnight kittens and goodnight mittens. Goodnight clocks and goodnight socks. Goodnight little house and goodnight mouse. Goodnight comb and goodnight brush. Goodnight nobody. Goodnight mush. Good night to the old lady whispering, hush. Brings it all back. Good night stars and good night air. Good night noises everywhere. See how darker the room is now. See the fire burning. Dollhouse is lit up. The end. Now it feels like it's good night. Alright, and for the last book, this is actually the book that inspired me to read all the Goodnight books, because I found them and I was just like, oh, I like this one. Oh, I like this one too. Goodnight stories are the best. So this one's called Goodnight Library, and since we're in a library, it seems fitting. Goodnight Library, darkness falls. It's sleepy time for these great walls. Goodnight Library, you must be tired from all the learning that you've inspired. I mean, I hope so, anyways. Goodnight words and chapter books, goodnight reading and cozy nooks like this one. Goodnight poetry, goodnight prose. Pull up the covers, off you doze. Anybody know what prose is? Prose is like short fiction. Goodnight characters, close your pages, goodnight plots, and puppet stages. Goodnight Goldilocks and Sleepy Bears. Goodnight Storytime and Carpet Squares. Little girl looks like she's excited about nap time. Anybody else get excited about nap time? I do. As an adult, far more excited about nap time than I ever was as a child. Goodnight board games, crafts, and art. That would be pretty sweet if we had a 2-scale size, like life-size chessboard, like in Harry Potter. Goodnight computer and filing cart. Goodnight folk tales and Little Red. Goodnight wolf in Grandma's bed. Looks like they have a really cool play area in their library. Goodnight Maps and Atlas 2, Goodnight Comics, old and new. They have a really big library. Goodnight benches and goodnight chairs. No more climbing. Goodnight stairs. Oh yeah, they have stairs. They definitely have a bigger library. Goodnight librarian. It's time to close. One more book? Oh, I suppose. Now all your books are tucked in tight. Good night, library. Good night. Good night. The end. All right. Now just a short interval and we will have our crafts. Okay. We're back in my part of the library, and I'm going to do the crafts over here because it's going to be a lot easier than trying to do them by the fireplace. 2 crafts to go with this video. One is to go with the Goodnight Moon. We'll do that one first because it's faster and easier. So all you'll need for this craft is glue. Hopefully you guys have some. If not, just let us know and we can provide you a glue stick. So first, and I've provided also instructions with everything. First, you have a green sheet of a full-size sheet of paper, of construction paper, and you'll want to take that, and that's like that's just the base. And then this half sheet of blue paper, you'll glue on the big green piece. And the green is kind of like the wall in Goodnight Moon, and the blue is like the sky outside. Okay, see? Green wall, blue sky, and now we're going to glue on, well, after we draw the stars and put on the red windowsill. So then, after that, glue on your moon, a white circle, and I will just say that I try to make everything as straight as possible, but nothing is perfect. And the moon isn't perfectly round all the time anyways. So, you can kind of roll it around a little bit, make sure you get all the glue everywhere. And it's okay if it overlaps a little bit right here because this is going to get covered up with the windowsill. So, alright, and then after that you'll want to take the white crayon that I will provide. Everybody has white crayons. And you'll draw stars all over your blue part. That you can see this good because it looks kind of, the angle that I'm looking at it looks like a negative almost. So I hope this looks okay for you guys from this angle. Make it a nice starry sky, as many stars as you can fit. That one kind of sucked. And if you guys have other materials at home that you'd like to add, like glitter or something, you are so more than welcome. So now we will add our red strips. Now there's 3 different sizes of the red strips, and I've labeled them all. And there's A, which is the longest one. These will go on the top and the bottom. And the B's are the same width, but they're just a little shorter. See, they're just a little shorter. And these ones will go on the sides, and then the C's are like the window dividers. So I think that it looks best when you put the C's down first, and of course you glue on the C sides so that you don't see the C. See the C. So glue. And then put the B's on. So you kind of go backwards in order. You go C, B, A. Ooh, too much glue. Too much glue. And kind of judge your distance. Like I kind of put it halfway onto the blue. See right there? But everyone's gonna do theirs different. Maybe you want yours to go all the way out to the edge, but then you won't see the green. And you don't want to close off too much of the sky, otherwise it's gonna look like a bunch of red. And not enough sky. So, then the second B on the top. And then we do the A's. Uh-oh, I made these ones a little long. You may have to trim them, but I feel like the other ones that I put in your packets aren't, or maybe these ones were supposed to be on top and bottom. Maybe I did it wrong. At any rate, I could just snip it off and that's fine. Too late now, she's half made. Mostly made. Okay. So, last piece of the puzzle. I'm just trying to line up your corners so that everything at least looks straight. Oh no, I cut off too much on that corner. That's okay. Nothing's perfect. Okay, alright, and done with craft one. Alright, it's not the most glorious craft, I'll be honest. Alright, so there's that. And our second craft might be a little more exciting. And it is a Starmobile. And I've provided everyone with some string. I left it all one long length so that you can cut it at however many intervals you'd like. There's white and yellow stars, because some stars are darker than others, and a crescent moon. And for this craft, all you'll need is tape. So if you don't have any tape at home, let us know, and I will try and provide you with some tape. I'm not sure how we'll manage that, but I think we have some sticker paper we can stick tape to or something and put it in your craft packet. So the white is basically just your backer. It's cardstock, so it's a little more rigid than this white, than the blue paper. First, I would cut your string. You can measure it, you can eyeball it. I'm just gonna eyeball it and cut it into different lengths. So for this, I only need it to be that long. And what's nice about the having this as your backer and this to cover it is the top to make it look pretty. You can tape all of your hanging things to this side and then cover them, and then no one will see them. You shouldn't need a lot of tape. Just little pieces to stick it. I guess you will need glue for this craft too. I didn't think about that. To glue, just to glue this onto here. That's the only time you'll need glue. The rest of it will just be tape. So, or if you want to do this, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue a star to the moon. You could tape it too and give it like a 3D kind of effect. This one's a little bit more involved. But it's a fun craft that you can hang up, well, that's my star, and enjoy for a long time. Little ones are definitely going to need some help with this one. Finagling the tape and such. Tape stuck to me. Okay, so those, I like to do a long one and add lots of stars to it. you can do this in whatever configuration you find appealing. You can do more stars inside the circle with the moon. You could do all your stars at the bottom. You could do many strands with stars. You could, however you like. I'll try to provide you guys with more stars than I have here working with, but I know it'll take a lot longer for me to show you the craft if I have more material to work with. And so I kind of just gave myself just enough to give you an idea of how you can do it. I'll provide you guys with more stars than this. Oh, no, I dropped a star. Okay. To glue him on the end here. Almost finished. Alrighty. And this is what your Starmobile, oh, got tangled, should look like when you're all finished. And you could take your extra string, if you have any, and tie a loop to hang it. Alright, probably should make it straight before I say something like that. There we go. Alright everybody, thank you for joining me for the Goodnight special. Have a wonderful evening and see you for our next video.